Welcome back to another chapter of Shinnok's Uprising. Last time, we just took Kung Lao's and Aiko's perspective because the combatants had to separate. Everyone has been separated by the Army of Darkness advancing from the Edenian Palace. And so Kung Lao and Aiko escaped into the living forest, and they found Katana and soon Sizoth, one of the generals of the Zaterans. And Katana's plan was to unite all of Edenia and some of Outworld, unite all the species against Shinnok, and Quan Chi as well. And so Kung Lao discovered what the Gem of Tetsuri was and how his great ancestor was connected to him. So, now we take on the perspective...
Hello?
Yeah?
I got mail right there.
Alright.
Just put it there.
Alright. God damn it. And now we take on the perspective of Sonya and Johnny Cage. So let's get this started. Good thing I know how to edit out these things. Alright, continuation 4, into the Cobalt Mines. Johnny and Sonya were still running away from the gathering army of darkness. Climbing from hill to hill, the Special Forces agent took out her machine gun over her shoulder and managed to shoot and obliterate several shadows and Onis. They were reluctant to scatter and run away from the fray, but they had very little choice. The Brotherhood of Shadows in particular were giving them the most trouble, as they strategically covered beneath the ground, while Sonya shot the gathering generals. One actually managed to trip the poor lieutenant as it gained up and reached for a combat boot. She tripped and the sudden grab made her tumble and rolled down another hill. Johnny screamed her name and dove after her, but just as he was about to lift her, the ground gave way. They slid down some loose soil before they reached a sharp edge. Johnny went and grabbed for his partner, but her rifle wasn't so lucky as it detached and the strap fell around some jagged rock with the flashlight still on. Both combatants regained their footing and composure. That was close. Ugh, good thing those creepy bastards didn't find us. They must think we're dead. Their voices echoed as they bounced off the void and distant cavern walls. With their sore bodies, they sat for a few minutes before they stood up slowly. They both figured it was too risky to emerge into the surface until Sonya's keen vision spotted a narrow path. She took the lead, Cage followed, till their eyes beheld flickering lights from the rock walls. Those firings belonged to some forgers, as if they were structuring weapons or armor. Turned out to be the alchemists were none other than the four-armed beasts they were too familiar with, the Shokan. They were assigned different tasks with the blacksmiths. I mean, heck, they're in the mines, they gotta forge weapons. With cobalt especially. So, do you have an alliance with the Overlord Do you have an alliance with the Overlord Shinnok? Johnny immediately made a striking pose as he noticed the approaching beast looked very similar to an old enemy of his. Before a fight should break out, Sonya replied, "We belong to Earthrealm, and we just escaped from that army of demons." You speak of the army of darkness. You two shall be lucky escaping from an unfortunate fate. Our kind had borne witness to an attack upon the Edenian palace 50 miles away, while we were at the subterranean city of Quaiton. During a peace treaty with the Centaurs, the new Princess Kitana became distraught. But we hid away here as well, while the rest of us escaped into the darker corners of Outworld. Where's Goro? Johnny! Sonya became nervous that the celebrity was about to instigate and raise tension. The last thing she wanted was to become a victim to merciless slaughter by a group of the monstrous Shokan. He has hidden himself after several years, too ashamed to show his face upon his consecutive defeats in the previous tournaments. He'd better stay away, especially from the likes of me. Enough, Mr. Egotistical. What is going on here? This is the Cobalt Mines. We are currently using alchemy to create armor and weapons made of that sacred material. We believe in this legend that the demon sorcerer of the Netherrealm, Quan Chi, had his magic negated by making contact with that same compound. How do you know so much of our enemies? Or this place? Again, Mortal Kombat Conquest. 5 centuries ago, Shao Kahn used his advantage and made Quan Chi turn against Shang Tsung once the conquerors sided with him. This took place where the sorcerer attempted to end the Great Kung Lao's life, but he often failed. Figures. The Cobalt Mines of Shao Kahn was a location originally in Outworld, which was often used as a prison for the lowest scum of all realms by the Conqueror and the Shokan race loyal to him. Interestingly enough, on account of being productive, through special abilities and tremendous strength, these warriors were the reasons why they were named as such. These mines were special, containing pure cobalt, bedded into the rock walls. Much to Sonya's amazement, Shang Tsung was once imprisoned here by Shao Kahn, of course. Kept the Korean princess 4-packs. Taja. You can pause here. Shang Tsung was once imprisoned here by Shao Kahn after his defeat at the hands of the Great Kung Lao. He kept the Korean princess 4-packs. He was also a prisoner in the mines, relying to others and to herself as his personal slave. Tasha was manipulated, thinking that her lost blah blah blah. I still yet to encounter conquest, so bear with me. Sonya then questioned the Shokan general of the hanging chains, and he mentioned that the mines contained an execution and torture chamber. At the end was a wrought iron sarcophagus containing a worm-infested, rotting skeleton. It was eventually obliterated after Khan's defeat. Once the Shokan occupied the mines, they wanted to destroy its violent past. Legend had it that Shang Tsung's powers couldn't be unaffected by the cobalt in the mines, since he was a human heritage. But to outsiders, the cobalt poisons or weakens them, believing Quan Chi to be one of his many victims. If this place was truly a prison, then what the hell do they eat down there? I doubt there's any livestock here. The Shao Kahn stated that food was usually either some kind of basic soup or stew covered in a clay bowl. Shang Tsung ate something that seemed to be close to shrimp, then complimented he must have great hunting talents to exceed the more common delicacies. Neither Sonya nor Johnny appreciated this, nor how prisoners had been treated so cruelly. Thankfully, the mines had collapsed, causing the burial and destruction of a lot of its disturbing denizens and scars of the past thanks to that sudden invasion. Ever since Edenia had been restored, we were in the process of reformation, until the meddling centaurs complicated matters. As we speak, they're awaiting outside guarding this place. There's a better exit than that slippery slope. Phew, that's a relief. Because of the heavy safeguards by the Army of Darkness, we must approach it discreetly. As miserable as it may, we must traverse through Jade's desert. The two humans gave an irritable sigh. Ugh. They were not expecting to go over a scorching wasteland, let alone expecting that Edenia even had one. Jade? Why would even she own a desert? The general would shrug. It was baffling to all the Shao Kahn. He appreciated if the two Earthlings would become allies to their cause, even if they would put aside their jealousy and insecurities regarding the centaur. They reluctantly accepted. As the general suggested, they headed to the barren, abominable sands, though he heeded they must approach through it before the sun should rise and irritate the blistering earth even more. Luckily, each of the Shao Kahn, as well as Sonya and Johnny, were able to take naps upon the centaurs' backs. They weren't as unsteady as they thought, while they pranced onto the loose and merciless dunes. They were all very wary if there should be a lethal haboob popping out of the blue. At one point during their trek, Sonya was awoken by a sudden jerk of a centaur's mount. Her eyes cleared almost instantly, then it spotted a yellow robot sticking out of the surface. I'm sure you all know who that is. At first, Sonya thought it was an illusion, as deserts had a tendency to elude the mind, or maybe she was still restful, but her transport kept on trotting away from it, never wavering. She signaled the beast to halt, and he commanded the others to do the same. Some even grunted as the sun was quickly rising. Sonya ran toward the lone cyborg and realized it was one of the Linkway cyborg Cyrax. Well, what do you know? Johnny awakened soon after when his mount abruptly stopped. Sonya shouted for the armies to help her pull off the half-dead cyborg out, which didn't seem to move nor respond. All it did was let out some faint staticky noises before he was carried out one of the half-horses' backs. Sonya mounted her perch again before they continued on their journey, which they had alerted to speed up into canters before the sun should show its merciless, dehydrating face. As if they were running so fast and hard as a herd full of wild beasts. Thanks to approaching and evacuating from Jade's desert early, Sonya and Johnny eventually made it out, although the heroes still couldn't understand why it'd be hers. Deserts in general were very unsettling, and they just couldn't favor Cyrax being stuck in the sand. They soon arrived at a swamp of sorts, and the temperature was a lot cooler as they felt the refreshing air emitting from a nearby lake, much to their relief. Out of the corner of her peripheral vision, Sonya noticed a familiar man wearing tattered clothing and tan skin. Wait! I need to take care of some unfinished business. It's Jarek! Jarek? He's the last member of the disbanded Black Dragons. I was chasing him in Shanghai earlier. Black Dragons? You mean Kano? At the sound of his name, Sonya quickly dismounted from the beast's back. Johnny bickered for her to stay, but she still went straight toward him. Soon enough, the fugitive looked up and saw her assailant. All he let out was a wide grin, just savoring on killing his woman victim. It's over, Jarek. Actually, this is, the end of Sonya. Well, actually, it was Jarek, then Sonya, then Jax. I actually found a video of it recently.
Come in, Major Briggs. This is Lieutenant Sonya Blade, over.
Sonya, glad to hear you're alive.
You actually sound happy to hear from me, Jack.
This is Major Briggs. Come in. Sonya, there.
Come in, Major Briggs. This is Lieutenant Sonya Blade. Whoa!
Sonya, come in. Sonya, this is Jax. Are you there?
Well, did you guys see that ending? She was falling until she was abruptly caught by someone else who was airborne. His firm grip was about 30 feet up, and Sonya nearly startled while she was caught unaware. She had her eyes squeezed shut, then she noticed she was on more firmer ground, then brought down softly as she held onto his shoulders. Her eyes opened and she recognized her hero. Ah! Kung Lao! Surprised to see me? What happened here? I heard you scream as you fell. And who is this guy? Pointed to the tip of the precipice, in which their eyes blurred as they looked up at the bright sunlight in the long distance. They barely saw a muscular man grab him by the throat and had his feet dangling just a few inches up.
Going somewhere, Jarek? Jax! I thought you were going to... Thought I was what? Dead? Like my partner you just tossed off the cliff? I'm sorry, Jax. Please, don't drop me. Wait, I promise. Too late, Jarek. You can't drop me. You have to uphold the law. You have to arrest me. Wait, this is brutality. You can't do it. Wrong, Jarek. This is not a brutality. This is a fatality.
Actually, it was the second part of the ending. So, Jax dropped Jarek. The doomed criminal simply fell like a large rock. Kung Lao, Aiko, and Sonya simply watched from within the shade beneath the cliff's edge. Jarek's holler grew louder until his body smacked into the lake's surface as if he hit cement. The trio shielded their eyes, and they were lucky they never saw his battered body ever again. Some thin red streaks broke away, though. Sonya sighed with relief, who wouldn't have to deal with the accursed organization anymore, unless if there should be more stragglers scattered around the world or in other realms. Finally! She can never forget her obsession on killing nor arresting Kano since he was responsible in her partner's death. She recalled bits and pieces as Jax was highlighting the lethal invasion in an apartment complex as Kano rigged it. During that time of Jax's story, the combatants were having a wild globe-trotting goose chase thanks to deceiving Nightwell's equipment, again from Defenders of the Realm. Marched up the path. Hey! What's been going on up there? Jax was astonished to see the formerly deceased celebrity. Johnny! I thought you got your head ripped off. Nah, I'm good. I don't know how he pulled it off. I can't understand. But, Raiden resurrected me. Did he? Yeah, he said it took 2 years to recuperate. Right. Listen, the rogue black dragon Jarek, I just tossed him off a cliff and... Jax! It was Sonya. I thought you fell flat off the cliff. I would have if it wasn't for Kung Lao here. Look, Jax, you can't stay here. There's so much heat with the fallen elder god Shinnok and his apprentice Quan Chi. God, why does that name sound familiar? Never mind, you gotta get out of here. Can you make a portal? Yeah, I think so. Thanks to those new hefty gadgets. Why? It's Cyrax, one of the Linkway cyborgs. Johnny and I found him in a desert stuck in the sand. The Linkway? You mean all those robotic ninja assassins? Jackson never liked the sound of that. He wouldn't forget the lethal scrimmages he saw involving Oniro and Sub-Zero. The linkway has changed, Jax. You need to hurry. He might die if he doesn't get the proper treatment. He won't survive here. Okay, chill, girl. I can create a portal back. It's gonna need some work, though. Thanks, Jax. Do whatever you can. So you finally got rid of Kano's thugs? Yes, Cyrax will be taken to headquarters. He should be fine. Lao wasn't so thrilled as he saw the gathering army full of vicious beasts. Sonya! You rallied up the Shao Kahn and the Centaurs? They'll tear each other apart limb from limb. They can't break their vow on not being friendly. They're both fine. The Centaurs helped us traverse through the desert and retrieve Cyrax. Kung Lao, they can help us win. Even they despise having their lands conquered. They also created armor containing cobalt. I still don't know what that's gonna help against Quan Chi. The former monk remembered the same tactic involving his ancestor. He thought it was just a rumor. Shang Tsung used to be banished there. We have the Saurians on our side too. We kinda decided to take their customs on camouflage. I guess it really works. Oh good, I'm almost done. So that explains the weird get-up. Johnny noticed Kung Lao and Aiko's dark olive green and black war paint on their bodies, even several stray leaves as they once wore them for cover. Like a soldier in combat. Good call. I can't believe Katana was able to meet up with you guys and lead the rebellion. Look, we should get moving. Hopefully we'll meet up with more of our allies. They all nodded in confirmation and mingled with the rest of the group. Surprisingly, there were no confrontations between the Saurians with the Shao Kahn and Centaur forces. I first heard about the nefarious Jarek as well as his demise by 616 Entertainment with the terrible voice acting in MK4. Said it's very close as being abysmal as Resident Evil, Mega Man 8, and House of the Dead, even though I never played them. They were often used as very flawed examples. Come on, Boone! Do Tobias and us have a favor and remake the damned game? Shaolin monks may need it, but MK4 is starving for a massive makeover. I have to admit that Cyrax as well as the Cyber Warriors was one of the highlights of MK3 ever since I was young, just like Motaro. I didn't want to get rid of him. Concerning MK Gold, they have him play a minor role. I liked his ending with the Special Forces, which you'll see later. There's the Easter egg with Jade's Desert, and he have his humanity restored much like Smoke thanks to Nightwolf in my previous epic, and a valuable ally to defend Earthrealm. And there are the songs for that. As you can see, I took some inspiration from MK Conquest and MK Gold. It's criminal that Gold was considered the ugly duckling out of all the ports. It had extra characters and then cutscenes. Having Cyrax was a nice Easter egg, in Ultimate Mortal Kombat, even though I never played it. I can't wait to get rid of Jarek and recruit the Shao Kahn and Centaurs on the combatant side. I'm trying to reunite all of Edenia here. Damn, I wish MK4 would explain more of this concept in Edenia like Shaolin monks did as it links Earthrealm with Outworld. No, I'm not taking any elements from the pathetic Special Forces. So another Scrappy eliminated. We're halfway done with the separated teams. We still have Nightwolf and Sub-Zero, as well as Liu Kang and Kai. I'll have the inspiration later, hopefully. Sorry for misspelling Quaitan, by the way. And hopefully I'll get a chance to that. Until then, this is the Ikron Writer signing out.